So this month we got information on Turles' celebration details, and I think this was like the final straw for a lot of Dokkan players. And I'm gonna address some of that too. I'm angry, right? I'm mad, but I mean, I don't even want to say I'm mad. I'm frustrated, right, at how the game is still making some of the silly mistakes they do. It genuinely baffles me that. Sorry, dudes, I forgot to turn my fan off. But it's baffling me that they're still releasing units like Turles. I do think Turles is good. It's just compared to everything else that is released this year, it's just genuinely insane to me that they're still designing characters this way. And I'm not sure why they're doing this the way they are, but Dokkan keeps. Honestly, they've been pretty good, but recently, when it comes to these villain characters, right, these extreme class characters that we need more of in the game, and Dokkan refuses to release them, right? These characters we need more of, and we need them to be good, and we need the celebrations around them to correlate to what these units need and want. And while I do think that Turles' celebration has some benefits, do I think all of them are really necessarily the best? Probably not. For example, I know that The Truth has been spouting some stuff about the EZA Grade 8 Turles, who, I mean, despite it being a good sub EZA, I don't think it's enough to make the community happy, right? And it's definitely not, I wouldn't say it's what Turles needs, right? I think Grade 8 Turles is good, but I don't think it's like, I don't think it's this it's not the best thing for Turles, right? Turles needed EZA LR Turles to come out. We didn't need LR Gohan and Goten. I do think the EZA is a good pick, just not for a celebration like this, right? We need villain EZAs for a villain release, something that is going to help the villain character out who already doesn't have much help in the game. And I think a lot of people in the Dokkan community are getting to the point where they're like, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of these villain characters being bad. And I just want to say that I feel like some of that is disingenuous, right, to like what Dokkan is. I feel like some of the hate is a little unwarranted, right? I mean, they are making mistakes, but there have been good villain releases, right? Look at LR Meta Cooler, LR Final Form Cooler. We've had LR Zamasu, who's very good. We have LR Subaru, who's a very good unit as well. It's just, when it comes to characters like Super Boo and LR Zamasu, they're releasing in the game without any help, and that is unfortunate, right? But I'm not gonna sit here and say that those units aren't good, because they are. But recently in 2023, they've had these designs for villain characters that are just weird compared to the rest of what has released this year. We've had the Dual 17s, Kale, God Goku. I'm counting TURs, by the way. God Goku. And now we have Demon King or Piccolo Jr. and then Tech Goku as well. All good characters. It's just, you can tell the super class characters are, other than Piccolo Jr. I will say Piccolo Jr. was a very, very well designed character, right? Very good. He's the exception, but I think that compared to everything else that's released this year, superclass characters are just dominating right now. And it's unfortunate because I'm a big fan of a lot of villains in this series, dude. Like Turles, a lot of people don't know this, but Turles is a really hype character for me. And the fact that Turles is mid, not even mid, he's good. It's just he needs help. Like every other villain release this year, they need help. And they're releasing in the game without that, or they're making really weird choices in the EZA that they pick for these characters. I know a lot of people were really mad about the Super 17 EZA for the Dual 17 TUR. I know a lot of people were mad about that, which is fair. I mean, that's a very fair thing. So the EZAs just aren't fitting the villain's needs. And I guess you could probably see that in like Dokkan Fest Kale as well, where they're EZAing this character, which is good, right? But it's not what Kale needs. To me, it feels like they're designing these characters and they're they're not really, they don't really play with them. You know what I mean? They don't play test them or anything. They just have the character and then release them into the game. That's what I feel like Dokkan's doing now. And then like when they see these, and then like you see a celebration like Dokkan Fest Kales where LR Super Boo releases. We're all anticipating a Universe 6 character, something that's going to help Kale out, and they release Super Boo, which it doesn't make any sense why that's the case at all. Like genuinely zero. And I'm sorry if I'm like stumbling over my words or, you know, what I'm saying doesn't make the most sense. But I feel like there's a lot of people in the community that relate to this. I'm not mad at the game. I'm not mad at Dokkan, right? I think the development team has really good potential. And the person who's in charge of it all, I think he can do some great stuff. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that he's not doing good stuff, because he has. Like, all throughout this year, we've had really great celebrations. It just feels like there's favoritism for super class characters, and there's not really much going on for these extreme class characters. And there are hype extreme class characters that they could release, right? There's Broly. People would love to see a Demon King Piccolo. People would love to see a Slug of some sort. Dr. Wheelo got his very first card into the game, and he sucks. He's bad. Like, and they want us to grind him up. Like, I get it, he might easy A in like a year or two, but that's not enough. Like, that's not, like, I can't understand how Dokkan thinks that's, or they think that's enough, right? And I'm not going to be talking about global, because global has its own issues, and I'm not a global player, right? I don't play much. I have a global account, I just don't play it much, so I can't relate to what you guys struggle with. But I'm on JP, and I know the game pretty well, right? I've been playing it ever since it came out, 2015. Pretty much. Like, I'm a really passionate person about I love this game to death. Like, I've been playing it for 8 years now, man. It's a shame. It's not even like I don't feel like Dokkan is dying in any way, shape, or form, and I don't think it's going downhill. I just think that the development team, who are human, are making mistakes, and that's fine. I just want them to learn from the mistakes that they make. And Dokkan has been doing a good job of listening to the community, although I want to say, like, recently it doesn't really feel that way. It doesn't feel like they are. When was the last time we had a survey? Was it the 8th anniversary or New Year's? I can't remember. Oh, we got a survey. It was a survey for the worldwide download celebration, like 7 months after the fact, right? So they're slowly but surely, it feels like they're like slowing down communication with the community. I feel like part of that would be because I don't know if necessarily, and not to be rude or make it sound, I'm not trying to be mean, but I think sometimes the community doesn't necessarily even know what they want. And I'm not talking about like big, the big boys of Dokkan, right? I feel like they have a pretty good grasp of what the game needs and what the game should be. And they're playing the game every day, right? They're constantly going to see problems with the game and what they'd like to see change. So I'm pretty sure that they have a damn good idea of what they'd like to see change in the video game like that. But in Dokkan, not in a video game like that. The game we're talking about is Dokkan, right? They have a pretty good grasp of what Dokkan would need. And I feel like a lot of the casual players don't really necessarily know exactly what they want from the game. I mean, that's fine though. We got to keep in mind that a lot of new players in the game are I would say, pretty young. People who've been playing Dokkan since it came out are, damn guys, y'all are out of high school now. You guys have jobs, you're living lives. And like, this is a game that you care about, and that's understandable. Like, you're going to be angry and frustrated. That doesn't mean the game is dying. That doesn't mean that the game is going downhill. It's just frustration. We're going to see how everything turns out later on. I think Dokkan has the potential to step out of this negative state. I just think that people, if you guys aren't happy with how Dokkan is handling, the villain characters, we gotta vote with our wallets, people. Like, we if we don't like the way they're handling villain TURs, because the LRs are good, they're making great LRs, but if we don't like how the celebrations are being set up, We don't want them to kind of get it in their head that this is what we like. Like, we want more inconsistent celebrations where a villain TUR releases and then we get a completely separate EZA. Like, if we don't want them to know that we like that, don't feed into it. You know, complain about it, tag them, do something. Don't be mean, don't be assholes, but like, talk to the developers, try and get their attention in some sort of way. They do listen, they have before. I don't think it's healthy to sit here and be like, oh dude, the game is shit, it's falling downhill, no one fucking likes this game, it's dead. Like, that's not a healthy response to this. It's honestly, it's an immature response too. I just think there's a way to handle this, and the best way I could think of is voting with our wallets, right? Don't feed into something you don't enjoy. If you don't like the fact that they're releasing crappy extreme class characters, don't feed into it, right? Don't get hype about it on Twitter because they read the Twitter stuff. They do. And you know, the Japanese player base, they have their complaints as well, and I'm sure they listen to them a lot more, which is fair, right? That's what the game is. That's who the game is meant for, basically. The JP side. I'm mad about Turles, right? I'm just as upset as you guys. I think Turles could have been way better, and he needed to be better than what he is. I don't like that they're shafting extreme class characters. I am in the pit with you boys, right? Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's healthy to sit here and call the game shit or shit on it for really just like unnecessary things. There was a tweet I read the other day saying that Dokkan has fumbled more times this year than Legends has in its entire 5 years of its existence, which is just a baffling statement to me. I don't think either game is bad necessarily, right? I know that I feel like one fumbles a little bit more than the other, but my problem with Legends is I feel like not even their characters are bad or what they release. I just think the way they handle some celebrations is just really poor. And I feel like I've had that feeling way more often with Legends than I have with Dokkan. I could be biased, so take it with a grain of salt. But in my personal experience, that's how it's been for me. I like both games. I really do. I don't think that Dokkan, in my personal opinion, I don't think Dokkan has fumbled more than Legends, right? So seeing stuff like that is just to me, it blows my mind. I don't think it's healthy to sit here and ponder on it. I think we could complain in a healthy way and give the developers actual good criticism. Turles was an upsetting release. It's not my final straw, right? I don't think I understand if you guys, it's yours. If you've been playing the game for 8 years, it makes sense, right? Some people are just bored of Dokkan, and that's okay, right? Anyway, this is a bit of a silly little short video. I just wanted to rant about it because it's been on my mind recently, just seeing how the community is reacting to the celebration, which is justified. I'm not saying it's not, right? Other than the game is dead or it's going downhill comments, right? They made a mistake. They're human. They're human. They haven't even honestly been doing that bad, right? The superclass character releases, they are killing it with those. We just need them to push out better and well-timed villain releases. So yeah, anyway, that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching, for anybody who's tuned in all the way through. And yeah, I love y'all. Hope you guys have a great day. Always try to be better people. And yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.